Hey .NET developers, I'm Dottie AWSome, here to help you learn AWS. In this video, I'll explain the new AWS Message Processing Framework for .NET and how to use it. When you write messaging applications, you often write code to send messages, process received messages, poll your message service, receive messages, deserialize messages to a .NET type, and delete processed messages from the message service. That's a lot. Ideally, you should only have to write the code to send and process messages, because that's part of your business logic. Everything else is boilerplate code you shouldn't have to write. The AWS Message Processing Framework for .NET does away with that boilerplate code and takes care of that plumbing for you automatically. You're left just writing the code that is unique to your application. You can use the message processing framework with these AWS services: Amazon Simple Queue Service, Amazon Simple Notification Service, or Amazon Event Bridge. In each case, you're only responsible for implementing your business logic. Unlike generic messaging frameworks, you get access to the advanced features of these services, such as message attributes, FIFO queues, and message visibility management. So what's the code look like? You'll define a class to represent your message, like the greeting message class shown here. To process received messages, you write a message handler. You'll get passed a message already deserialized to your message class. All you have to do is process the message and return a success or failure status. Now, how do you set this handler up? In your app setup, under Configure Services, you'll use Add AWS Message Bus. You'll register a poller for the message source you're watching. In this case, an SQS poller. This will poll the specified queue in the background. Then you'll declare your message handler. This is what connects an incoming queue message to your handler and tells it what type to deserialize to. To publish a message, simply create your message object, then call publish async on the message publisher the framework creates for you. To set up this publisher, in your app setup under Configure Services, you'll again use Add AWS Message Bus. You'll register a publisher. In this case, an SQS publisher. What about message format? Messages are serialized to JSON and then wrapped in an envelope that matches the event format for cloud events. This standardized format makes interop possible with other frameworks and programming languages that work with messages or events. Let's review. The AWS Message Processing Framework for .NET simplifies message apps that use AWS services. You only have to write your business logic. You can use it with Amazon SQS, SNS, or Event Bridge. You define a message class for each type of message and handlers to process messages. In Setup, define pollers and handlers for receiving messages, or publishers for sending messages. Lastly, messages are formatted as cloud events, which maximizes interop. The AWS Message Processing Framework for .NET is currently in developer preview. To get it, add the NuGet package aws-dotnet-messaging to your project. For documentation, see the AWS SDK for .NET Developer Guide. Visit the GitHub repo on awslabs/aws-dotnet-messaging to see the latest release notes and give feedback. Read the blog post by Alex Shovlin for a tutorial. Get the developer preview now and take it out for a spin. The engineering team would love to hear your feedback.